Hey folks, Ona's Henny Camp coming at you. I want to thank you guys for coming along with our journey. Follow along what we're doing, all the different little things that we like to do around here. I want to thank you guys for coming along. Today, well, last week, as you saw, we got our parts together for a bicycle part bench. Today, we're going to get it welded together. So I want to bring you guys along, show you the steps that we're doing, and probably, hopefully, by the end of this video, we'll have it put together. I don't know if we'll have it painted, but we will at least try to have it put together. So, why don't you come along? I will get you pointed at the fab table. So, hopefully you'll be able to see some of what we're doing. Okay, well, there we go. I guess that's pointed as well as we can here at the fab table. I've got most of the stuff set up to do what we need to do. We'll get my welder turned on, get my heat turned down from the last welding project. Most of this is pretty simple welds. Like I said, this is one of the first projects I did as a welding artist. I enjoyed doing this project. Once it was painted up, my wife really loved it. And then me, as a guy, we needed money during the 22 flood. One of the crews that was here helping clean out our house, one of the people on that crew fell in love with it. And me being who I was, I sold it to them, as well as something else I'd made. I don't even remember what. Oh, one of my flowers, my chain ring flowers that I make. I sold one of them while I was at it. Need to get my cutters, my hammer, and my brush out. I thought I had everything out that I needed, but obviously I didn't. So to get those things out, I went to get set up to do my first weld and realized I didn't have my cutter out. First thing we're going to weld on and get lined up is we're going to get the bench portion of this cut out or welded up, and we're trying to figure out which way we're going to do it. So it looks like that's the way we're going to do it. We're going to get things lined up here. How do I have it set up? I've got it set up to go that way. So, looks like I need a little piece of metal. I'll hold the one side up just a little bit, so it lines up. And that looks like that will get us where we want to be. So, let's get the ground wire hooked up. Okay. Okay. That looks like a pretty good tack. Let's get that completely welded. And we'll go from there. Once I get this one welded, I'll shut you guys off and get the other one welded. Then we'll start working on the chain rings and we'll go from there. Okay, I got that one welded up. Let's take a break here for you guys, and I'll get the other one welded up. Then I'll bring you back when we're going to do the chain rings. Okay, folks. Now, I got the chain rings lined up. You probably can't see that too well because of my vise, and I apologize for that. But I've got it grounded to the chain ring. I've got that clamp holding it to the bench. So hopefully when we do our tack here in a minute, it should stay pretty good. Let's get a tack right there. Okay, we'll get a tack over here. Gonna put a couple tacks on this before we actually get into the weld of it. Okay, there's our tacks. Everything looks pretty good. Let's give it a quick wire brush. Now these do not need to be completely welded. All you need to do is put a couple spots around it because it's not like you or I are going to sit on it. So let's go through and let's get this one welded up a little bit and we'll go from there. That looks pretty good. Now, because I'm right-handed, I'm going to spin this around so I can weld on this side just a little bit easier. Get it set up the same way I had it before. And let's go for a couple welds on this one. Okay. There's my cutters. Hey, that's still warm. Okay. Well, that one looks pretty good. Now, we'll do this on the other one. And again, I'll get this one done off camera. Then when we start getting it set up to put it all together, I'll bring you back. Okay, now we got the seat and the backrest welded up. We're going to get probably the backrest welded onto the one side of this. Let's get it clamped. There we go. Now, all the welds are on this side, so I want to turn it over. Get it lined up where I want it over here. We're going to give it a couple tacks and get it full welded. See what we got here. That looks pretty good. We're going to slide this down. Get the other backrest, other side of the frame. And get this clamped down. Get it lined up. Okay. Now we got everything there packed. We'll get it moved down a little bit so I can weld this side over here. I'm going to turn it over just because I can get a good clean weld across the back. And we'll go from there. Let me get this welded up. I'll bring you back in a second, or we'll keep going. Not too bad. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit. Turn the wire speed up just a little bit. Just because I'm not a complete fan of the way that weld turned out. It's not bad. Okay, let's get this side over here welded. Okay, I got that side welded. So, let me get this welded, then I'll get the bench welded, or get it finalized. Then we'll get the bench put on it, and that should be about it. Unless I have time to give it a good paint job. Thank you, folks. Now, if you can see here on the edge of the bench, for the fab table, I've got it upside down with the backrest hanging off the side. I've got it sitting on the bench. We're going to give this a couple good tacks and a couple welds, and we'll go from there. Well, I'm happy with those tacks and those start welds. Now, I'll shut you off. I'll get this finished up, and then we'll start getting it ready for paint. Okay, folks, I hope you guys have heard everything. We've had a couple of sound issues. We got the bench all loaded up. I hope you can see that. Let's see if I can get it from another angle where the sun's hitting a little bit better. And that doesn't look too bad. now that it's completely welded up, I'm going to come through with my grinder and my die grinder, and I'm going to get all the splatter cleaned up and get that taken care of. Then we'll move on to paint, and we'll go from there. We'll see how we're doing, and again, we'll take it to the next step. Thanks, folks. Well, we've moved out here to my paint booth, which is just out here in the sun on an old wood-covered pallet. As you can see, the bench is put together. Now we're going to give it a couple good coats of black paint to get us started on our paint job. And if you've ever painted anything with a spray bomb, you know how to do it. You stay back about 12 inches and you keep it moving nice and slow over the entire surface. I like to start basically near the top of the project and work my way down. That way, if I get any runs, they'll be a little bit easier to see. I'm going to paint as much as I can from this side of the bench, my paint booth, as I call it. Get as much painted here as I can. And again, we're going to coat the whole thing. So we'll go around to the other side. Shake the paint some more. Let's see, we'll start down here on the legs. When you're spraying, you want to overlap your strokes. I like to about halfway overlap my strokes. Now it's a little cool today, so it's going to be a little tough for this to dry. That's all right, we got time. I got all the time. I've got a stop button on my camera, so I can stop when we need to. Let this dry a little bit, then we can come back to it. So let's let that dry for a little bit, and we'll turn it over and get the base. Then we'll give it another light coat, and we'll get into the clear on it. The clear's got the special part, so we'll see how that turns. Okay, now that that's dried, and it's got a nice gloss tint, because that's what we need for our clear coat. This is a Rust-Oleum color shifting. It shifts colors at different angles. It's supposed to be only applied over a black base coat, which we've got the black. And I'm not quite sure what the color is on this one. It doesn't say, but I've used the one that had a red tint. This one has more of a blue tint. I painted the bicycle and I painted the old bench with the other one. So let's see how this one turns out. I'm only going to paint the top, what's visible from. Oh, that's got a pretty green to it. Let's go around and put in the back and give it a coat. I don't know if the camera and the sun's going to do this justice. This looks pretty. Oh, this has more of a blue tint, or purple it says. Or it looks like on the lid. I'll tell you one thing, that's pretty. The color shift is kind of like the old style bass boats with all the glitter in them and all that. I really like the way this stuff turns out. And I like to give it a couple minutes between each coat. So we'll just sit here and watch paint dry together. How's that sound? Now, for those who are following, we've got on the 11th, which is a couple weeks from now, of April, we will be doing our next work day for our community garden. If you're local and you want to show up and give us a hand getting things together and put together, we've got some stuff that won't be ready to be planted, but we've got some stuff that to start putting our raised beds together. We started a little bit before. We got sidetracked with a couple other things that that happened. So again, if you want, stop in on April 11th. Stop in here in Garrett next to the post office, and give us a hand in the gardens. It's for our local community. It's for anybody who's actually doing anything. So stop in and see us. We'll give this another quick coat. If we don't get run over by the UPS guy. Nah, well, my UPS guy here is pretty good. I give all my delivery guys, give them a little bit of heck. Got to. But I'm friends with all of them. They're all good guys. They don't have necessarily the greatest job. They get yelled at. They get chased by dogs, things like that. Here we offer them water. We offer them a snack if they need it. We take good care of our delivery guys. Most of the time, if I know they've got something coming, I'll meet them at the driveway or at the road, so they don't have to carry it in. I usually give those guys a break. Again, you got to do what you can to help your community. And your UPS drivers and stuff are your community. Your mailman. We don't have a mail carrier. We live next to the post office, so it wouldn't work out too well. Okay, let's get a where can we see that glitter the best? I don't know if we're going to. You can see it pretty good, better over here. Let's walk around it. Can't see much from this distance, but if you look at it from up here, I'm not sure you can see it, but it has like a bluish purple tint to it. And right there, from my view right here, I can see a pretty blue. And like I say, these color shifting paints really do a good job on anything. Again, you got to have a black base coat. So we're gonna stop this video here, folks. Again, I am Onus. We are Henny Camp Manor. You can find us here on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you're enjoying these videos, hit the little subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post. We post a new video every Sunday. We've been doing pretty good with that for a while. So, and again, most YouTubers don't want you to stop in. We want you to stop in. Stop in, say hi, see what we're doing, talk to us for a couple minutes, and hey, you have a great day, brother. Yeah, we try. Again, that's my UPS guy. He's pretty good. So, again, you never know what you're going to see on our page. So just give us a follow, give us a like, and follow along with the chaos that is the lives of the Henny Camps here at Henny Camp Manor. Never know what you'll see, but we'd like to shoot anything that we've got going on. We'd like to shoot video of it. So follow along, folks, and may God bless you all.